Why would you spend hours painting a monochromatic underpainting if you're just going to paint over it? It's a fair question. For me, the underpainting is the foundation of the entire painting. In fact, I'd argue it's one of the most important parts, and here's why. When I first started painting in oils, I felt overwhelmed. Every brushstroke required me to think about drawing, color, value, and saturation all at once. I was trying to solve too many problems at the same time. Then I discovered the underpainting approach. Instead of solving everything at once, I solved one problem at a time. That completely changed the way I paint. The biggest advantage to this approach is that it lets me separate values from color. I toned the canvas with Burnt Sienna and I use Raw Umber to establish the lights and shadows. At this stage, I'm only thinking about drawing, values, and making sure my composition is right. Once those are working, adding color becomes much easier because the hard part is already done. Another benefit is the way oil paint behaves. Many oil colors are transparent, so when they're layered over the warm underpainting, they create a greater sense of depth and luminosity. Finally, the underpainting prepares the surface for color. Fresh gesso on canvas is very absorbent, but once the underpainting has dried, the paint glides across the surface much more smoothly. While I'm establishing the values, I often lift paint with a cotton rag or sponges, or even Q-tips instead of painting every light shape. Once I'm finished, I lightly drag a fan brush across the surface to soften unwanted brush marks before moving on to color. Is this the only way? Not at all. Some of my favorite painters like Sorolla and Sargent painted directly in color. This is simply the process that works best for me because I like solving one visual problem at a time. So why spend hours painting something you're just going to paint over? Because I was never painting something to cover up. I was building the foundation for everything that comes next. That one extra step made oil painting simpler, more enjoyable, and far less intimidating. If you paint in oils, I'd love to hear your approach. Do you paint directly or do you start with an underpainting? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy learning about traditional oil painting, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.